Hey, what's up guys? Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Again, today. Making another video today because I'm a tryhard. But today is going to be Zoodiac. I have been really excited to make this deck because I love Zoodiac. Like, words can't describe how much I like it. I don't play it that often, but when I do, I love it. So without further ado, let's get into it. This deck is very heavily nerfed. It got rid of a ton of its Xyz monsters, limited Trident to 1, Broad Bull got banned, Barrage is at 1, Rapier is at 1, but this deck is still going strong in the competitive landscape. It's not even rogue, but it still sees a lot, and I mean a lot of play. Even if it's not top tier anymore. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting things off, I play one copy of Rapier. This is kind of required. If this card is normal summon, you can send one Zoodiac card from your deck to the graveyard. Any Xyz monster whose original type is Beast and has a card as an Xyz material gains this effect. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, special summon one Zoodiac Rapier from your hand or deck, which is impossible because we don't have another one. It's limited. But you can send one Zoodiac from the deck to the grave, which is really the only reason we play. It's basically a free Foolish Burial. Then I play 3 copies of Thoroughblade. This is kind of required. You can, if this card is normal or special summon, you can discard one Zoodiac card, and if you do, draw one card. Any Xyz monster whose original type is Beast Warrior gains this effect. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent, which isn't bad, but this is really only used to supplement your rank 4 plays. Because it's not the bad. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one Zoodiac monster in your graveyard, except Ram Ram. Special summon it. An Xyz monster whose original type is Beast Warrior gains this effect. Oops. When an opponent activates a trap card, or effect that targets this card, quick effect, you can detach one Xyz material, negate the activation. So this is a big part of it. A lot of your Xyz monsters can basically add on to each other. So your Xyz monster could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Xyz materials, 12 Xyz materials on a normal basis. And that is super good, which means you could have 12 negations just on like a single Trident. Then I play 3 copies of Whiptail. Quick effect, you can target one Beast Warrior Xyz monster you control, attach this card from your hand or field as material. Then the Xyz monsters, blah blah blah, Beast Warrior. If this card battles an opponent's monster, after damage calculation, banish that opponent's monster. So that is really good. Even if you beat over the monster, you still get to banish it, which is super good. Then I play one copy of Bunny Blast and one copy of Keteroost. And most people don't play these cards, but I play them as good one-ofs, just as options. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one Zoodiac monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. And then during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card effect, you can, or effect that targets this card, you can detach one Xyz material and negate the activation. So this is it's basically like a nerfed version of Whiptail, which Whiptail is a lot better, but this has a really good effect just in general. Then I play again one copy of Keteroost. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send one Zoodiac card in your graveyard. You can target one, shuffle into your deck, which is okay. Then during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect that targets this card, you can detach one Xyz material, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So basically, all 3 of these have similar effects. So that is it for the Zoodiac monsters. It's a very limited lineup because we only have a limited amount of Zoodiacs, but this is a very consistent deck considering how many draw spells we have and the fact that we have Tenki. So that's it for the Zoodiacs. Going into the hand traps, 2 Ash Blossom, 2 Nibiru, and your Gamma package, and Infinite Impermanence. So Ash, of course, just to disrupt their plays. Nibiru, because this deck is a bit more fragile than it used to be. So if your opponent has too many disruptions on the board, you can use Nibiru to get around all of them. And then this because it's amazing. So continuing on from there, that is it for the hand traps. For the spells, 1 Zoodiac Barrage. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck. You can target 1 face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do special summon 1 Zoodiac monster from your deck, you can only use its effect once per turn, and then if this card is destroyed by battle or battle. If this card is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Zoodiac Xyz monster you control, attach this card as material. So basically, it's an additional summon, as well as just being able to get more materials on your Xyz monster, which is really, really good. Then I played 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki. This card, when this card is activated, you can add 1 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. And then all Beast Warrior monsters you control gain 100 attack, which is meh, but the searching effect is what's really important, because you can search out all your Zoodiac monsters, which helps weed through a lot of them. Then for the draw spells, 3 Pot of Avarice and 3 Pot of Desires. This deck burns through a lot of Xyz materials, unlike a lot of Xyz-based decks, which a lot of Xyz-based decks will sit on their Xyz monsters for a while. This deck is very combo-eccentric, so it can use a lot of materials, which means Pot of Avarice helps you gain more advantage because you can use cards from your deck as well. Then I play 3 copies of Pot of Desires just because it's it's a better alternative to Pot of Avarice if you need instant gratification. Then I play 2 copies of Twin Twisters because you need some removal, because this deck loses to Mystic Mine a lot. This deck loses to Eldritch a lot. This deck loses to back row a lot. So 2 Twin Twisters just to get around that is pretty good. Already went through the Imperm. Imperm is the best hand trap ever. Fight me. Then I play 3 copies of Zoodiac Combo. Target 1 Zoodiac Xyz monster you control. Attach 1 Zoodiac monster from your deck as Xyz material. Then during either player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card. Then target 5 of your Zoodiac cards in your graveyard with different names, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. So, again, all your Zoodiacs can, your Xyz monsters can add on to each other, so you can basically turn all of your Xyz monsters into 1. So this really helps to be able to renew that again, so that you can continually do that. Plus, you gain advantage when you draw a card. Then I play 2 copies of Zoodiac Gathering, even though no one really plays this card. If a Zoodiac monster you control would detach its Xyz material to activate its effect, you can detach an Xyz material from another Xyz monster you control instead. Then you can only use this effect once per turn. Then you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 2 Zoodiacs you control, attach one of those monsters to the other as Xyz material. So, OP effect. It's once per turn. It doesn't really matter because it's just a strong card in general. But again, no one plays it, but I still think it's really good. So that was it for the main deck. The main deck is pretty standard when it comes to Zoodiac lineups, because Zoodiac is pretty cut and dry. But there is a Dogmatica Zoodiac. Still feels weird to say Dogmatica, but there is a variant, and that's pretty good, but I prefer the pure Zoodiac variant. Then I play for the extra deck play one Trident, because this is the best card. Once per turn, you can also Xyz summon Zoodiac Trident by using one Zoodiac monster you control with a different name. So, it is a once per turn, along with all the other ones, which it can add up, but it's gonna add up a lot slower than if it wasn't once per turn. But if you used this card gains attack and defense equal to all the attack and defense of all the Zoodiac monsters attached to it. And then once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, then target one card up the field, destroy it. So this can nuke your opponent's board, like boom nuke. Like your opponent's board is gone with this card. And on top of the fact that you can use Whiptail, Cataroost, and Bunny Blast to give this card a negation effect, which is really good as well. Then we got Jacanine. You can summon it using it as material. This card gains attack equal to all the Zoodiac cards attached to it. Then once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, then target one Zoodiac monster in your graveyard. Special summon it, but for the rest of the turn, it has its effect negated. Also, you cannot attack. Then I play 2 copies of Borbo, 2 copies of Tiger Mortar, 2 copies of Hammerhog, 1 Heraldry Crest just as an additional add-on, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, and Nightmare Cerberus. Then Finnetrack Fortress Megaclops is your big boss monster of the deck. It's really easy to summon out in this deck, and all in all, it's just a great card. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck profile. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know what you thought, and let me know if there's any additions you think I should make to this deck. Should I take out Gathering? Should I add in some more of the main deck Zoodiacs? But yeah, I will see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.